Rare Friday body language. And first I'd just like to say thank you for all the views, all the comments and all the support. This is a new channel and I didn't imagine I'd get that much attention. I know this video, and not every video, will get as many views as the Anthony Joshua videos, but I'm just glad you're here. And thanks for all the comments and support. Today we're going to be looking at Luke Evans, a young British boxer who suffered a knife attack. I don't know much about Luke, but I found this video on VIPTV. There's a link in the description below for the full video. And so I'm just cold reading Luke on this video. The reason I thought I'd do this is because I think Luke gives us a very honest answer. And also, I thought this was a really interesting story. Let's get going.
You weren't out with another group of lads or anything like that. You were just walking home after watching the McGregor and Mayweather fight.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were being pursued by about 8 or 9 lads.
About 8 or 9 lads followed me. We was going for something to eat. Obviously, I pulled out my fight injured. And then we went.
You're still eating healthy then, eh?
yeah. So basically, me and my missus was just walking through the town centre, quarter of a mile away. We got followed by a gang of lads, and one thing led to another, and that's when it all kicked off.
So at first you might say, well, he's shaking his head a lot, he's looking away, and if we just jump back to the start, he's got a cushion covering himself, he's doing some self-touching at the start of this interview. All that might sound like signals of deception. And here he's staring straight into the camera. One signal of deception is ironically maintaining eye contact, because the deceiver believes that the longer they look directly into your eyes, the less you will believe that they're lying. So let's just run through this quickly once more.
So you're still eating healthy then, eh?
yeah. So basically, me and my missus was just walking through the town centre, quarter of a mile away.
And the shaking of the head and the... I don't know, sort of thing. I don't think that's a signal of deception here. I think that's a signal of almost... he can't understand why this has happened. But it has.
Quarter of a mile away, we got followed by
and here he's looking into his emotional memory.
By a gang of lads, and
throughout this interview he does a lot of and looking away, and that's not deception, that's honesty. He's thinking about what he's about to say. He maintains a very cohesive sense of the timeline of events, and he looks into his memory, his honest memory, to recount the truth. It's also worth noting here that he's probably given this story a few different times. He's probably refined it slightly. He's probably told it to the police. So he's used to telling this story, but it's still very emotionally charged for him. You can see his eyes have dilated. His eyes are dilated. This still is giving him some emotional response, as it should. But he's also learned to deal with this feeling over the time that his scars have been healing. Hey, I'm a rapper.
That's when it all kicked off. They was started threatening us with knives and bike seats and all sorts. And my first instinct was to protect my girlfriend. Luckily, my dad was in the pub in the town centre at the time. So I phoned him up and saying, listen, it's not going to go down well here, I need your help, because there was only 2 of us at the time. So my dad came out the pub to escort us up the road.
When he does the looking away to the left here, that's because he's looking at the person who's interviewing him, and he's trying to maintain eye contact with the camera because he knows he's giving an account that he wants to be as open and honest as possible about. But he's still looking into his memory a lot.
And literally all kicked off. luckily my dad was there, because if it was just me and my girlfriend, God knows what would have happened.
And this sounds like a really scary, uncomfortable place to be.
And it would have been a lot worse than what it actually is.
Well, was it your dad actually? They jumped on him, which gave you time to get your girlfriend to safety.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my dad was telling me to get away. He was like, he was keeping a distance from me, just telling me to go away, leave it, just leave it. Don't like aggravate it. Just.
And now the adrenaline's starting to rise in his body as he's recounting. His eyes are getting even wider. His breath is slightly short. But again, they're not signs of deception, I don't believe, in this case. I think that that's the response to the situation. And he's a boxer, he can handle himself. But yet, any of us can be vulnerable if there are a group of armed youths. These are dangerous times.
Just walk away. So I did. I took my girlfriend as far away as possible, and that's next thing you know, you see these young lads, probably about 18, 19, if that, started all getting giddy, shouting, "Go on, come on," like that. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, fuck, man. No, honestly, it's the worst thought of is.
Because when you took your girlfriend, you've got her safe.
Yeah.
By this time, they've all surrounded your dad and attacking your dad, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so you've gone back to help your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then like say, you know, as you said to me, you said you thought it was all over in.
This is where I think Luke's story has a little crack in it. And the interviewer actually says he went back because the lads were going after his dad. Luke doesn't say that. He gets back onto the story once the interviewer points that out. Now, I think there's a part of Luke that went back because he felt his honour code. We talked about honour codes in the last video about Anthony Joshua. I think that Luke felt offended, and I think there may be even a part of him that felt he could meter out some justice as a professional boxer, that he could handle himself, and once he got his girlfriend to safety, I think he probably did go back to make sure his dad was okay, to talk to his dad. But maybe there's a part of him that also felt he could go back and meter out some justice. Now, I'm not here to cast doubt and aspersions on Luke's story. I think he did not instigate the violence. I think he did not go out looking for a fight. I think he was walking home with his girlfriend, like he said, and I think these youths did instigate the trouble. And I think if he just walked off and left, maybe his dad would still have been in trouble. I think he did go back to make sure his dad was all right. But I'd like to make the point that fighting on the street for the honour code of the street, it's not worth losing your life for. There are people on the street that don't share the same honour code, and there's nothing the street can give you that's worth losing your life for.
Just walk away. So I did. I took my girlfriend as far away as possible, and that's next thing you know, you see these young lads, probably about 18, 19, if that, started all getting giddy, shouting, "Go on, come on," like that. So I was like, what am I gonna do?
All these lads were getting giddy, and what are you gonna do? And that's where I think that part of him that said, right, fuck it, let's have it.
Fuck, man. No, honestly, it's the worst thought of is.
Because when you took your girlfriend, you've got her safe.
Yeah.
By this time, they've all surrounded your dad and attacking your dad, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so you've gone back to help your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then like say, you know, as you said to me, you said you thought it was all over in maybe a minute or something.
Yeah.
But you've managed to watch the CCTV footage, and it was.
It's interesting there because the interviewer gives the account and Luke is able to just listen and confirm the facts as the interviewer gives them and respond. And it's obviously upsetting him, it's distressing him. These are upsetting and distressing events, and he's a very brave and very strong person to come through them in the way he has. But this must be quite distressing to relive the events.
Turns out about 18 minutes it was, if I'm honest with you.
So when he puts his arms in this folded position now, again, it's not a sign of deception.
But you've managed to watch the CCTV footage, and it was like
turns out about 18 minutes it was, if I'm honest with you, to be precise. It lasted a lot longer than what I thought it did, because it's all over in a flash. And yeah, my dad was being attacked by these lads because he was trying to like fend them off, because he was
to give me time
to get out. Yeah, to give me time to get out. But I wasn't prepared to leave my dad on his own. What normal person would leave the family? So I went back, turned back for my dad. Next thing you know, my dad's on the floor. He got hit over the head with a bike seat, and next thing you know, they all jumped on him. Three or four lads of the group started jumping on him. So I tried to get them off him, like come on then, like, you know, aggravating him to get off him.
Which is very brave.
So it gives my dad time to get up and get away,
safe.
like get safe, like and recuperate himself. And next thing you know, they all jumped on me, so I started fighting with them. I got maybe two of them off me. Next thing you know, out of the blue, some guy runs at me with a knife.
And I think this is, you even hear his voice raising pitch here. Next thing you know, some guy comes at me with a knife. And I think this is where he maybe felt initially that he could fight these guys off. There may be more of them, but he's a capable fighter. Maybe some part of him enjoyed the action, the excitement of it. But when this guy brings out the knife, then that's a different level, and his voice literally moves to a different level.
Away, like get safe, like and recuperate himself. And next thing you know, they all jumped on me, so I started fighting with them. I got maybe two of them off me. Next thing you know, out of the blue, some guy runs at me with a knife.
Just in your arm?
Yeah, he stabbed me in my arm.
And the shaking of the head here, because again, it's almost disbelief.
Get up and get away, like get safe, like.
But not deception. He's looking into his emotional memory.
And recuperate himself. And next thing you know, they all jumped on me, so I started fighting with them. I got maybe two of them off me. Next thing you know, out of the blue, some guy runs at me with a knife.
Just in your arm?
Yeah, he stabbed me in my arm. Bit of a stab wound there. And then he slashed me in the face. I just couldn't believe how quick it happened, because I never actually seen him. But when I looked on the CCTV, he went round.
Yeah.
He went round. He
separated. Behind,
yeah, he separated from the group and.
So he's had an opportunity to see this on CCTV, and that's probably why he's so clear on the timeline of events in this retelling of this story. And obviously that CCTV footage validates the honesty of his story. Now, I don't have the CCTV footage here, and if you want to watch the rest of the video, which does contain some graphic images, head over to VIPTV to hear the full story from Luke. I'll just skip on to the end where we know he's safe.
I sat myself down a couple like blocks away, like roads away. I sat myself down because I kept feeling like really faint and dizzy.
Wasn't it a long time before the ambulance turned up as well?
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
From after the attack had happened then?
And again, he's touching his ear here, and you know, you might say that looks like a deception. That looks like he might be a lie. Was it 15 minutes? I don't know if he really knows how long the ambulance took. I think he was in a pretty bad state, and I think he's been really honest with his storytelling here, and I think it's a really interesting story. I'm not going to make any further comment on Luke's situation or the events. I'll leave that for you guys to do in the comments below. If you like the content, click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.